This next speaker had a breakout. He was tired of being broke. How many of you guys are tired of being broke?
Yeah.
Yes. How many people tired of being broke?
Tired.
Tired of it. How many people have been broke and aren't broke anymore?
There you go.
All right, come on now. Isaac resembles that remark. Dr. West resembles that remark. Dr. Shane resembles that remark. Come on now. I know Dr. Lauren over here resembles that remark. So who's tired of being broke?
I'm tired of being broke.
This next speaker went from being broke to multi-millionaire on his own. You want to hear his strategies? Yeah. All right, we're going to give it up for the guy who went from broke to what? What did I just tell you? You got tired of being broke? What?
Multi-millionaire.
Multi-millionaires. He's going to teach
By
you
himself.
how to do what? Think I do his breakdown?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh. Yeah. How to double your sales, double your income. Give it up for Shawn Greeves. Go, Shawn. Go, Shawn. Go, Shawn. Go, 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 go.
All right. Looky here, we got the cream of the crop. Everybody else went home. All right, awesome. All right, well, what is it? February 2023, right? Yeah, we made it. We're here. It was a rough couple of years there, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, the good news is there's plenty of toilet paper, right? Wasn't that ridiculous? Oh, my gosh. Okay, what I'm going to talk to you about today can have an effect on any area of your life. But I like making money and showing how people make money. So who wants to make more money? Who wants to double their income? All right, you're in the right place. So I wrote this book called The Success Formula for Humans. And the reason that I wrote this book is because, well, I'm a real estate guy. I've done over 6,000 deals. I went from broke to a multi-millionaire. And I got to thinking one day, why do most people that buy books, tapes, or courses on how to get rich in real estate, they never make any money? Might be one of you guys too. I got to think, why was I so successful when most people fail? I found out I was using a formula. I put it in a book, and I'm going to teach it to you. Sound good? Yeah. All right. Now, so we're talking about business. Secret key to success in business is solving problems. Solve problems for yourself, your team, your customers, your prospects. Do it daily. Do it more. Become adept at problem solving. Look for bigger and bigger problems to solve. Now, you might say, I don't like problems, Shawn. Nobody likes problems, but that's how we make money. Zig Ziglar said, help enough people get what they want, you get what you want, right? Let's say you walk into Walmart or Macy's or Target and you have a problem. You're going to talk to the clerk behind the counter, right? Well, what's going to happen if the clerk behind the counter can't help you? Are they going to kick you out of the store? No, they're going to call their supervisor, right? Well, who makes more money, the supervisor or the clerk behind the counter? Supervisor, right. Why? They solve bigger problems, right? So look for bigger and bigger problems to solve. You get to make more money. Okay? That's my talk. Have a good night. All right, so I'm going to tell you a story. My story. Right out of high school, I did not go to college. I helped my parents open up a hardware store. And we opened up a second store and a third store. And I worked for them for 16 years. And the most money I made working for them was about $30,000 a year. Now, I got out of high school back in 1980, so that makes me a seasoned guy. So $30,000 wasn't that bad back then for a young guy. But then one day, my parents called me up and said, Shawn, we got some good news for you. We want to come down to the store and talk to you. I said, great. So they came down to the store. We sat down. I said, what's the good news? What's the good news? They said, we want to sell you this store, nothing down, 100% financing, sign on the line, and this store is yours. And most people be excited about that, right? I paid my dues. Well, have you ever heard when somebody gets into a car accident or something serious, they say, my whole life passed in front of my eyes. Well, they're thinking about their friends and their family and their loved ones. Well, when my parents made me that offer, my whole future life passed in front of my eyes because I could see myself being 80 years old, selling the same nuts and bolts and pipe fittings for the rest of my life. And you know what? That kind of scared me because I thought I had more potential for that than that. So I thanked them for the opportunity, and I said, no, thank you. I thought, if I don't get out of here, I'm going to be that 80-year-old guy. So I said, I quit. I didn't even plan on quitting that day. It wasn't even in my mind. So I quit there, started bouncing around a bunch of different jobs. Years later, I'm working at night from 8 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning. I'm making okay money, but I get to thinking, I'm supposed to be rich. Even when I was a kid, I thought I was going to be rich. I'm making okay money, but I'm not going to get rich. I thought, what can I do to get rich? Well, let's get into the success formula for human here. The first step in the success formula for humans is everything starts with a thought. Everything in our man-made and woman-made world starts as a thought. Everything. Like this cordless microphone. They used to have a cord, right? Somebody thought, boy, it sure be nice not to have to drag a cord around. Started in somebody's mind as a thought, brought out into the physical world. There's chandelier right there. Started in somebody's mind as a thought, showed up in the physical world. Everything starts as a thought. And they say your thoughts are things. And actually they are. They actually go out into the universe to track back what you're thinking, good thoughts or bad thoughts. Don't believe me? You ever call somebody up on the phone and they say, I was just getting ready to call you. But your ears must be ringing. We were just talking about you. Your ears must be ringing. What the heck does that mean? That means your thoughts were connecting into the universe. Or you might have a spouse or a significant other. You might be thinking about it in the middle of the day, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, you get a phone call or a text message. Hi, honey, just thinking about you, wondering how your day's going. Who's ever had that happen? Yeah, so your thoughts are things. So be careful what you're sending out there because it just might come back, good thoughts or bad thoughts. So you're watching. Next up in the formula is decision. You have to make a decision that you're going to achieve a goal. Do we have anybody here, actually I heard, that has lost a significant amount of weight without surgery? 10, 20, 30, 40 pounds? Yeah, I've recently lost 40 pounds. Thank you. Well, I'm willing to make a wager with you. We've also heard of people who lost 100 pounds, 200 pounds. We heard of those people. I'm willing to make a wager with you guys that this time you were able to lose the weight was not the first time that you tried to lose weight. I mean, you tried every diet under the sun. You tried the marshmallow diet, the pineapple diet, the cabbage soup diet. You remember that one? Yeah. And nothing worked. You just said I was big boned. Even my dog is big boned. Yeah. I ain't never seen a fat skeleton. But what changed this time that you were able to lose the weight? What changed was you made the decision that this time I'm going to do it. You got to want it bad. That fire in your belly. Nothing's going to stop me. See, that white hot part comes from, let's say you light a candle. You look at a candle flame. There's different colors to a candle flame. There's blue and green and yellow and white. White's the hottest part of the flame. You have to have a white, hot, burning desire to achieve your goal. You see, there's three types of goals. There's an A-type goal, a B-type goal, and a C-type goal. Now, an A-type goal is something real simple. Like, I'm going to get a Big Mac and fries for lunch. Unless the McRib is back, right? Yeah. And then tonight for dinner, I'm going to fix some spaghetti and a salad. That's an A-type goal. Most people can achieve an A-type goal. Then there's the B-type goal. Something a little bit more challenging than getting a Big Mac. Let's say you're going to take a European vacation. Okay, are you going to go to one country or are you going to go to several countries? How are you going to get around? How are you going to communicate? Where are you going to stay? How much is it going to cost? Can I even get off work? There's a lot more to a B-type goal than just getting a Big Mac. And then there's the C-type goal. That's the big one. That's the one I'm talking about. The goal that's so big that when you think about it, you don't know how you're going to do it, and it kind of scares you when you think about it. That's when you know you got a good goal. And the multiplying factor of the whole formula is action. Nothing happens till you take action, baby. You got to go do something. So now I'm working at nighttime, thinking, what can I do to get rich? Well, there's something I didn't tell you. Right out of high school, back in the early 80s, they had all these nothing down real estate seminars coming through town. Buy houses, nothing down, no qualifying. I thought, well, I qualify for the nothing down part because I got nothing. So went to a couple real estate seminars. I'm 19 years old. Over the next 2 years, I bought 20 houses. And then I stopped. So years later, I'm thinking, well, last time I checked, people still need a place to live. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start buying houses. That's how I'm going to get rich. So I made the decision. I'm going to buy houses. And every day goes by, I'm thinking about getting that white hot burning desire going, but I gotta take some action. One problem. Gotta be a good problem solver now. Don't forget, we gotta be a good problem solver. One problem is I was broke. I didn't have any money. I mean, I had a couple $1,000, but I didn't have any money. Not enough to buy a house. See, I don't know if you know this or not, it takes money to do real estate. I don't have to be your money, but it's gotta be somebody's, but I didn't have any. So I got to thinking, okay, who's got money? I thought, well, banks have money. So I went into a small, local, no-name bank. Not one of the big guys. Walked in, I talked to the receptionist. I said, I would like to speak to your commercial lender. She said, well, that would be the president of the bank. I was like, the president? No. I said, don't you have like a clerk or somebody I could talk to? I just didn't want to get kicked out of the bank by the president, you know? She says, no, he's the guy. I was like, okay, well, let me at him. So she brings me into his office. I go in his office, I give my best power handshake. Hi, I'm Shawn Greeves. Folks, listen up. When you meet somebody for the first time in business, you give them, man or woman, you give them a firm handshake, look them in the eye, and repeat their name a couple of times. One, it helps us remember their name, and two, we like hearing people say our name, right? So he says, come on in, have a seat. He says, what can we do for you? I said, well, I want to buy houses and fix them up and sell them. He says, well, that sounds like a pretty good goal. How can we help? I'm like, hello, I'm at a bank. I was like, look, I need some money. I said, here's the deal. I have good credit. At least I think I do. I pay my bills on time. I have no money, and I don't even have an account at your bank. Can you help me? And then I went, held my breath. Now that's scary, man. That's scary. Here's a golden nugget for you. You cannot grow unless you're willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone in order to grow. That's the rules. You don't have to like it, but that's the rules. So I thought, you know what? I heard about this rapport thing, you know, build some rapport with people before you go for the sale, which is a really good model to follow. So when you go to meet somebody for the first time in business, it could be a job interview. You might meet them at their house or their office. Build some rapport. Okay? Look around for pictures if you're in their office or their home. Say, oh, that looks like fun. What were you doing there? Oh, well, I'd sure like to do that. Where was that? You start asking questions. See, because we like doing business with people that like us. You know, you get them talking. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna get to know this guy. So start asking about it. Turns out his name was very similar to mine. His name was John Greeves. Shawn Greeves, John Greeves. Very similar. We were 6 months in age apart. He's got a wife, 2 kids, a boat, and a motorcycle. I just started talking to him, building that rapport, and all the while I'm peppering in business. And about 2 hours later, I walk out of that bank with a commitment for 100% financing. I'm in business, baby. So I take some action. So I go out and I buy a house, I fix it up and I sell it. I buy another house, I fix it up and I sell it. And I buy another house, I fix it up and I sell it. Now I'm still working at nighttime from 8 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning. Get home by 6 in the morning. I sleep till noon, work on my houses, get back to work by 8, get off at 5, get home by 6, sleep till noon. I do that for 1 solid year. I took off 1 day, I took off Christmas. Then at the end of the year, I look at my bank account, and I see doing houses part-time, I made $80,000. Working full-time, I made $35,000. I'm like, wait a minute. Part-time, $80,000, full-time, $35,000. I think the job's costing me money. Job's got to go, so I quit my job. Now I'm a full-time real estate investor. My goal went full circle. I figured now I don't have to work at night. I could do a few more houses a year because I want to make $1 million a year. That's what I really want to do. So I buy a house, I fix it up, and I sell it. I just keep doing that. A couple years goes by, and I'm starting to make some more money because I had time to work on houses. Then I meet a guy, very rich and successful. He's got some businesses, he does some real estate. I get to know him, he says, tell me, Shawn, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm trying to make $1 million a year doing real estate. He says, all right now. He says, how are you doing that? I said, well, I buy a house and I fix it up and I sell it. And then I buy another house, I fix it up and I sell it. I just keep doing it. He says, no, Shawn. He says, you got 2 problems. Problems again? I said, what? He says, you can only make so much money with your own 2 hands and you run out of time at the end of the day. He says, you got to buy multiple houses and you can't work on them yourself. He says, you'll make less money per house because you got to pay for the labor, but you're going to make it up in volume. So I'm like, okay, buy multiple houses, don't work on myself, I got it. So now I got to go talk to old John at the bank, right? So I go in, I talk to John, tell him about my plan of doing multiple houses. John says, well, that's good and everything, but one problem. The problems never stop. I'm telling you, they never stop. You probably know about this already, don't you? They never, I said, what's the problem now, John? He says, well, we got a new board of directors and, well, we can only finance you one house at a time. I'm like, what? Come on. You never lost a penny with me. You know I'm good for the money. He says, yeah, I know, but, you know, that's just our program. I was like, are you sure? He goes, yep. I was like, okay. So I walk out of the bank. Then I get to thinking, okay, I need some more money. Who's got money? I thought, well, banks have money, but you know what? Banks got stupid rules, and I don't want to jump through their stupid hoops. So I thought, who else has money? I thought, there's private people that have money. I thought, what if I find some private people, maybe just pay them a little bit more interest than whatever they're making now, maybe they want to invest with me. So I ran a newspaper ad. Remember what those were? Yeah. This was before the internet, and things were hard. Well, I got 3 phone calls. First guy called, he was lonely and just wanted to talk. Second guy called, he had $5,000. Well, that wasn't gonna happen, I already had $5,000. Third guy calls, I get to talking to him. I said, well, how much do you think you have to invest? He says, well, I got at least $1 million. I was like, ooh. I said, I think you're my guy. So I talked to him a little bit more. I said, I tell you what, why don't we set up a day and time for me to come over to your house and meet you and your wife, and you know, we'll get to know each other. I'll bring pictures of before and after pictures of houses I've done, some closing statements, and see if it's a good fit. He says, okay. So a couple days later, I go over to the house and I meet them, and they're super nice people. I mean, the nicest people you ever want to meet. So I start building that rapport, right? I show them pictures of houses that I've done, closing statements. We talk about an interest rate. About 2 hours later, they look at each other and they say, you know what? We like it. Let's do it. So now I got access to $1 million. They didn't even check my credit. I'm in business. So I go out, take some action, start doing 2 and 3 houses at a time. Now I'm starting to make more money, bringing in more deals. It goes on for a couple years. Now Tony's my money guy, and Tony never calls me. I call Tony. But one day Tony called me up. I'm like, uh-oh, this might not be good. I was like, hi Tony, how you doing? He said, I'm doing good. I said, everything's good? He goes, yeah, everything's good. I said, are you happy with everything? He goes, yeah, happy with everything. I'm like, well, what's up? He says, look, my son has a sports management company, and he manages money for professional athletes, mostly football players. And well, he's been watching what we've been doing for the last couple of years, and he really likes it. And well, they got about $20 million they want to invest with you. I was wondering if you mind if I gave him your phone number. And I'm like, sure, yeah, thank you, Tony, thank you very much. Have a good day. I hang up the phone, I'm thinking, what am I gonna do with $20 million? I'm not even spending $1 million I got with Tony. I mean, I might lose it, I might get in trouble, I might go to jail, I'm freaking out. And then I calm down a little bit, and I breathe some, and then I change my underwear. Then I get to thinking, what can I do with $20 million invested, keep it protected, and make some money for myself? And I thought, well, you know what? There's other guys like me that want to do real estate, but they don't know how to raise any money. I thought, what if I make this money available to other guys through me? I'll pay the same interest rate I'm paying his parents. I'll do the loans. I'll service the loans, and I'll make it zero risk. If the deal goes bad, I'll take the loss. I thought, you know, I think that's going to work. So about a week or so later, a football guy calls me. He says, yeah, you know, we've been watching what you've been doing with Mom and Dad the last couple of years. We really like it. Well, we got about $20 million we want to invest with you. Can you handle it? I said, well, your dad told me you'd be calling, and here's my plan. So I tell him about being a lender. Start building that rapport while we're talking, because I like football. You know, it's interesting, his business. And telling me I'll pay you the same interest rate I'm paying your parents. I'll do the loans. I'll service the loans. You'll just receive payments from me. That way there's no bounce checks. And I'll make it zero risk. If the deal goes bad, I'll take the loss. So we talked for about 2 hours. He says, you know what? I like it. Let's do it. So now I got access to $20 million. I got to tell everybody I got money to lend. So I tell everybody, no qualifying, no credit check, no application. Just bring me a good deal. I'll finance you. Guess what? I was right. Before you know it, I had 200 loans going. I'm rehabbing 2 and 3 houses at a time, 200 loans going. Now I'm bringing in $80,000 a month. Little old me. Yeah, rocking and rolling. Well, that goes on for about 7 years. Getting rich, baby. I'm rolling in the dough. Things are great. It's never going to end. Well, about 2008 rolls around, and one problemo. I don't know if you know this, but back in 2008, the real estate market crashed. People started losing their jobs. People getting foreclosed on. See, what happened was there was these lenders out there called subprime lenders, and they were doing these stupid loans. All you basically had to do was fog a mirror. And to make it worse was they gave everybody a 30-year loan with a 1-year adjustable rate mortgage. They said, look, after 1 year, your interest rate's going to double or triple, which means your payment's probably going to double or triple too. So we suggest you cash us out of this loan before the end of the year. Well, the lazy Americans that we are, nobody went out and refinanced their houses. Everybody's payments started going through the roof. People started getting foreclosed on. And so what led up to that also was, since anybody could buy a house, the demand was huge, but the supply of houses was small, which means prices were going through the roof. Okay? We're experiencing some of that right now in our economy. So I got these little bitty rental houses around town. All the landlords, now their house was worth double or triple. The landlords went out, refinanced their houses, pulled all the equity out. Then after 1 year, landlords started getting foreclosed on because the rents wouldn't cover their payments. Landlords started to get foreclosed on, tenants got evicted. Homeowners were getting foreclosed on, homeowners got evicted. It was a disaster. The whole country was under a ton of stress. I didn't even know I had hemorrhoids until 2008. Yeah, it was tough. So, that would make it worse. Subprime lenders all went out of business. So the only lenders that were left that could finance a guy that's going to fix up a house and sell it were the big banks like Bank of America. But they weren't financing anybody because they were busy getting bailed out by the government. So you could buy a house and fix it up, but you couldn't sell it. Okay? Well, guess what happened to the 200 loans that I had? They couldn't pay me because they couldn't sell the house. I had to foreclose on 200 houses. And now there was huge supply, no demand. Real estate's dropping like a rock. I couldn't liquidate these loans for what I was into them for. But I gave my word to my investors they wouldn't lose a penny. I gave them my word. I lost $1 million getting my investors back to whole. I mean, I was making almost $1 million a year anyway, but hey, who wants to give up that kind of money? Listen, if you want to run circles around your competition, it's easy. Operate out of a higher level of integrity than everybody else. Because there are a lot of people out there that don't have a high level of integrity. You might know people like that. You got to keep your word. You got to do what you say you're going to do. If you tell somebody I'm going to call you on Monday, and it's Friday later that week, you may as well not even call them. You've lost their trust. You got to keep your word. Do what you say you're going to do. So, got my investors back to whole. I don't have any houses, no loans going on. I'm sitting back, I'm watching the economy crash. Thousands of foreclosures, millions of foreclosures all over the country. So I get to thinking, well, I'm a real estate guy. What can I do in this economy? I got to be able to make some money. I mean, everybody's going broke, but there must be a way. Well, I started looking around. I'm from St. Louis here, coincidentally. In the North St. Louis County, there's a lot of low-income houses. And they were all vacant, thousands of vacant houses. So I thought, where did all the tenants go? So I go over to the St. Louis County Housing Authority. I said, tell me about this Section 8 housing program, you know, where the government pays the rent. And a lady tells me about it. I said, is there a demand for Section 8 housing? She goes, oh, we got thousands of people holding vouchers, but there's no houses available. I was like, there's thousands of houses available. She goes, no houses. So what did they say? Find a need and fill it? You know, this is a problem, solve a problem. I said, I'll be back. I went out, I started buying houses like a madman. I had 4 and 5 rehab crews going. I could get a house rent ready in a week. Before you know it, I had 83 rental houses. Now I'm bringing in $42,000 a month in profit for me. Now it's not $80,000 a month like I was making before, but you can squeak by on $42,000 a month, right? You know, maybe a hamburger helper a couple nights a week, right? Well, I run my rental business for about 4 years. And guys start calling me saying, Shawn, banks are lending again. Are you lending? See, because I finance the fixer-upper houses. I said, yeah, I'm still lending. So I kept my word with my investors. Still got tons of money. So, time to get the loan business back up and running again. Before you know it, 200 loans going, 83 houses, rental houses. Now I'm back up to bringing in $80,000 to $90,000 a month. Things are good. But one problem, I hate these rental houses. I hate them. Low-income tenants are high maintenance. They will give a woodpecker a headache. Whew. So I thought, boy, you know, I'd sure like to get rid of these houses. And I made a decision. I'm getting rid of them. And I had a white hot burning desire because I could tell you some horror stories what they can do to your house. But I got to take some action. But how do you get rid of 83 houses quickly? Well, I found out that there were cash buyers coming from California buying all over the Midwest. So I found the buyers, took some action, I marketed to them. It took me 4 months to sell the 83 houses. So between the cash flow and the profit on the houses, I made $2.1 million in the worst real estate market that we'll ever know, hopefully. And so now I just do loans and I might wholesale a house from time to time. That's my story. But how does all this stuff start? How does all this stuff start? We talked about it at the beginning. Everything starts as a thought. Everything starts as a thought. Now you have to use your mind to create thoughts. So let's get a visual image. Just get a visual image of what your mind looks like. Think about that. What does your mind look like? Well, you're probably thinking of an image of your brain, right? But your brain is not your mind. Your brain is like the muscle or the electronic switching station that runs everything. But your mind is actually all of you. It's your big toe, it's your pinky, it's your nose, it's your earlobe. It's all of you. But nobody really knows what the mind looks like. Well, let's try and figure this out. Now, I can't take credit for this. There was a doctor back in 1934 named Dr. Thurman Fleet. And he was a psychiatrist. He was trying to figure out what the mind looked like. This is what Dr. Fleet came up with. Call it the stickman figure if you want. He says you got a conscious mind and you got a subconscious mind. He said let your body represent your outer world. He said so whatever's going on in your outer world, that's what's going on in your mind. Now, if you're the kind of person that's like, man, I can never get ahead. Nobody's going to hire me. There's no jobs out there. Oh, that contract fell through. I knew it'd fall through. I'm broke all the time. Hey, if that's what's going on in your outer world, that's what's going on in your mind. What about that one guy that everything he touches turns to gold? Like an Elon Musk? What do you think's going through his mind? Success is going through his mind. Okay, so let's look at the conscious mind. Your conscious mind is your filter to your outer world. Because we're constantly being bombarded with information, almost 24 hours a day. I mean, we got friends, family, clergy, billboards, books, magazines, internet, TV, radio, motivational speakers up here. Constantly being bombarded with information. Now, it's your conscious mind's job to filter that information out, because not all that information is good. Okay? If you don't like something, you're just going to kick it out. Boom. If you like it, you're going to send it down to the subconscious mind to be stored as a little bitty file, or a little bitty program, just sitting there waiting for you, because you start saving these programs from the day you're born in your subconscious mind. See, I was at the grocery store the other day, and on the sound system, there was a song on their sound system that I haven't heard in 40 years, but I knew every word to it. Because I had it stored in my subconscious mind as a little bitty file, a little bitty program, just waiting there for me to pull it up. I may never pull it up, but it's there. You start saving programs, okay? So when you have a goal, it all starts with a thought in your conscious mind. But nothing's going to happen until it gets sent down to the subconscious mind. Because here it comes, guys and girls. The magic happens in the subconscious mind. You have a magic genie in a bottle in your subconscious mind. You all have a magic genie, and you've all used it, you just didn't know it. How cool would it be to find out how to use this magic genie to grant you every wish that you want? Because he's sitting there saying, tell me what you want, your wish is my command, I will make it happen. We all have a magic genie. You want to know how it works? I'll tell you. All right, now, nothing happens till it starts in the conscious mind. It has to be sent down to the subconscious mind for the genie to take hold of it. Now, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the truth or something imagined. It's just going to go to work to make it happen. And it doesn't question anything you put into it. It's just like a computer. The computer doesn't say, whoa, are you sure? Are you sure? No, it doesn't do that. It just goes to work. It's automatic. The subconscious mind is just like a computer. It doesn't question anything. Now, when you're a little bitty baby, you show up with 3 preset programs, factory installed. The fear of falling, the fear of loud noises, and the need to eat. Because those little babies will sure let you know when they're hungry, won't they? Yeah, and that poopy part, I don't think you need a program for that. That just comes to squirting out. Yeah. Ooh. All right, but if you show up with 3 preset programs, factory installed, that means all of your fears, your phobias, and your habits that you have now were installed by you or somebody else. Because when you're a little bitty baby, how can you be afraid of flying in an airplane? You don't even know what an airplane is. You install it. How can you be afraid of a snake? You don't even know what a snake is. You install it or somebody else installed it. Because when we're real little, who starts programming us? Our parents do. Yeah. I mean, a lot of us, we like the same foods as our parents. We vote the same way. We're the same religion. You know, most smokers, their parents were smokers. Most overweight people, their parents were overweight. See, we start getting programmed from a very early age. You're going to reach a certain age in your life and you're going to do or say something and you're going to stop dead in your tracks and you're going to say, I'm turning into my mother. I'm turning into my father. Don't worry, if it hasn't happened yet, it will. So, we know thoughts start in the conscious mind. It's got to get sent down to the magic gene, the subconscious mind, in order for it to be sent out into the outer world. Without it going to the subconscious mind, it's just going to be a fleeting thought. It's going to drift right back out of your conscious mind. Because a lot of times there's things that we wanted to do, but we didn't make a decision. We didn't have a white hot burning desire. We didn't take action. It just drifts away. Happens to us all the time. So, we all like making money. Let's set a goal. Let's just come up with a dollar figure of maybe what we want to make this year. Okay? Let's go with, I want to make $200,000 this year. Okay? That might be high, that might be low, it doesn't matter. Let's just get a starting point. Okay? So let's say you have a goal, or a thought, starts in your conscious mind. It's just a thought right now. Nothing's going to happen yet. Okay? Nothing's going to happen. I want to make $200,000 a year. Well, I got some bad news for you. Right out of the gate, there's going to be a battle. Because you're vibrating at a vibrational frequency. Let's call it X-type frequency. And your conscious mind, that's the boss right now. He's going to go, whoa, 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 that's an X. We're a Y. We're a Y, we're an X, that's a Y. That's not who we are. $200,000? No, but what you got to do is you got to beat up the conscious mind because you're vibrating at a vibrational frequency. You may not be vibrating at a $200,000 vibrational frequency. Okay? It's going to try and talk you out of it because it doesn't want to have to work that hard. Okay, it's going to be like, God, you're not smart enough to make that kind of money. Come on, you barely made it out of high school. You dropped out of community college, for God's sakes. Come on, you don't have time. It takes time to make that kind of money. You know, you got things to do around the house and kids' activities, and hey, football just ended, but we got to start watching some baseball, basketball, hockey. Come on, you don't have time. Come on, just be happy being broke. Give it up. See, your conscious mind doesn't want you to have to work that hard. It's going to try and talk you out of it. Okay? So what you got to do is you got to beat up the conscious mind. See, that magic genie's just waiting. It's just waiting. But you got to get past the conscious mind before the magic genie gets it. Because you got to beat up the conscious mind. He says, I want to make $200,000 a year. Conscious mind's going to say, no, you're not. And that's where most people quit, right there. They quit. We know this is a fact. What's the number one New Year's resolution in our country? Losing weight. Get in shape. Yeah. New Year's rolls around, you go join a gym for $10 a month, no contracts. That's real commitment right there, boy. Yeah. So that night, you're sitting on the edge of your bed, and you got your alarm clock out, and you're setting your alarm clock for real early because you're going to go work out before you go to work, right? Or you're setting your alarm clock, all of a sudden there's like a little tap, tap, tap on your shoulder. You're like, that's your conscious mind. He's saying, whoa, 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 whoa. You're setting the alarm clock for what time? And you're going to get up and go do what? Workout? Are you crazy? You like eating pizza too much. Cookies. Turn that thing off. We'll say like, yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I saw the commercial. It's only $10. I'll cancel before the end of the month. And they turn it off right there. We know this is a fact. The gyms are packed in January and February, but they're empty in June and July. Right? That's because they didn't get the message. The memo didn't get down to the magic genie. But what you got to do is you got to beat up the conscious mind to send it down to the magic genie. So if you stay on it, conscious mind gets a little bit weaker, a little bit smaller. I want to make $200,000 a year. And then the conscious mind's going to go, no, you're not. But you got to stay on it. You got to beat it up, and it starts getting smaller and smaller and weaker and weaker. I want to make $200,000 a year. After a while, the conscious mind's going to go, no, you're not. It's getting weaker and smaller and weaker. I want to make $200,000 a year. After a while, the conscious mind's going to say, he's too strong for me. She's too strong for me. I got to send it through. You're going to see results in your outer world. That's how it works. It's not easy, but that's how it works. How do you really get something into your subconscious mind, Shawn? Well, I'm going to tell you. There's a couple ways to get something in your subconscious mind. First way is
Buy your book.
Buy my book, right? You have to see it in your mind. You have to see it in your mind as if you're already achieving your goals. You have to use your imagination, because remember, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the truth or something imagined. It doesn't know. You got to get excited about it. You got to see it. You got to feel it. You got to taste it. You got to want it so bad. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between truth or something imagined. Okay? And repetition, repetition, repetition. Get you some 3x5 index cards. Write your goal on your index cards in a positive present tense, as if it's already happening. Not going to someday, as if it's already happening. Okay. Sign it, date it, read it 20 times in the morning, 20 times at lunch, 20 times before you go to bed. Next day, get a new card, write it out. Don't do it on your computer, because something magical happens when you write it out. Sign it, date it, 2020. Next day, new card, 2020. Next day, new card, 2020. Next day, over and over and over and over, every day. Get you some Post-it notes. Write your goal on your Post-it notes. Put your Post-it notes everywhere you go. Put it on your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, on your back door, on your dashboard, your computer screen. Everywhere you go, put your Post-it notes. Even if you're not consciously looking at it, your subconscious mind is always looking at it. Okay? And get your phone out, download a recorder app. I like to turn my phone on camera, move it over to video, I set it face down. I make a 5-minute recording of me just reciting my goal over and over and over. So when I sit down to watch TV or I'm in my car, I turn off the radio or the TV, and I just listen to that 5-minute recording, burn it in my subconscious mind. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay? Now, we know we have to have a good imagination in order to visualize our goals in our mind. Okay? So do you guys have a good imagination? Let's test your imagination. Okay? Everybody sit up in chairs. Do what I do. Take your hands, stick them out front end. Clap them together. Rub your hands together like it's cold outside. Generate some heat. Faster. Clap together again. Interlock your fingers. Bring them up high in front of your face like you're going to pray, because you're going to need it. I'm kidding. Squeeze your hands together tight. Okay? In a minute, don't do it yet, but in a minute, I'm going to have you separate your index fingers about 1 inch or so apart. Not yet, but in a minute. Okay? I want you to use your wonderful imagination and focus in on just your fingers and feel powerful magnets on your fingers. And those magnets are going to pull your fingers together and lock your fingers together. Now, I got a couple of rules. Don't look at your neighbor. When your fingers start to come together, don't resist it. Allow it to happen, want it to happen, and it will happen. And don't look at me. Don't look at your neighbor. Don't resist it. So everybody separate your index fingers about 1 inch or so apart. Focus in just on your fingers. Don't look anyplace else. Feel those magnets starting to come together closer and closer and closer. When they come together, hold them up high, because they're going to lock together tighter and tighter and tighter. By the time I count to 3, those fingers are going to be totally touched and totally locked together. 1, pulling and tugging and pulling and tugging together. 2, we're turning up the frequency. Those fingers are locking together tighter and tighter and tighter. And 3, fingers are locked together tight. Very good. You guys have a good imagination. Separate your hands, put them in your lap. All right. So we know we have to have a good imagination. You guys have a good imagination. Next step, we need to create some relaxation. Okay? We're going to do some relaxation. Good news, I checked with management today, and they said it's okay if you guys relax in here. All right? All right, so what we're going to do is, not yet, but in a minute, I'm going to have you close your eyes, okay? Because it's better to close your eyes and visualize than with your eyes open, okay? But what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take a deep breath in, not halfway. I'm going to have you deep breath in. We're going to hold it for 5 seconds, and when I say exhale, I want you to exhale all the way out. So we'll go all the way in, hold for 5, and then all the way out. Got it? Okay, both feet on the floor. Get comfortable in your chairs. Close your eyes down. Keep your eyes closed until I ask you to open them. Keep your eyes closed until I ask you to open them. So right now, everybody take a deep breath in. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale all the way out. Take another deep breath in. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale all the way out. Perfect. Another deep breath in. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale all the way out. Just continue to breathe with your eyes closed. With every breath you take, allow yourself to relax even more. Let the sound of my voice relax you even more as you go deeper into this nice, deep state of relaxation. Now, as you're relaxing, I want you to focus on the little muscles in the scalp of your head. And just relax those muscles. Just release the top of the scalp muscles. Send that relaxation down around your temples and your eyes. Just relax. Relax your eyelids so much that they just won't work. Send that relaxation down to your cheeks and your jaw. Unclench your teeth just a little bit. Relax the jaw muscles. That's right. Take a breath in and exhale, relaxing even more, relaxing the neck muscles, the front of your neck, the back of your neck. That's right. Now take that relaxation and send it all the way down your back. Relaxing all the muscles in your back. We're just getting nice and comfortable. Take another breath in and exhale all the way out. Perfect. Relax your arms, your biceps, your elbows, your wrists, your hands. You can actually feel that energy trickling out of your fingers as you relax even more. That's right. Another breath in. Exhale, relaxing even more. Relax your chest muscles. Your stomach muscles relaxing now. Send that relaxation down to your hips and your thighs, and your knees, and your calves. All the way out of your feet. From the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, relaxing every muscle, fiber, and tissue in your body as you go down deeper and deeper into this nice state of relaxation. Every suggestion I give you now automatically becomes your reality as you relax even more. Now I want you to use that wonderful imagination. I want you to imagine now that you walk into your bedroom at your home and you see that I put a large wardrobe mirror. You might even have one there now, but with a wooden frame and a wooden base. Walk up to that mirror and look into the mirror. Walk even closer to the mirror, almost as if your nose is touching the mirror. Look into your eyes. And as you're looking into your eyes, that mirror starts to go clear. Now it's as if you're looking out a window. And out that window, you can see there's a big field of tall grass and wildflowers gently blowing in the breeze. Sunshiny day, clear blue skies. As you're looking out the window, you notice way off in the distance, there's somebody out there. Look, who is that? Wait a minute, that's you. That's the you that you've always wanted to be. You got a big smile on your face and slowly walking toward you. That person that you've always wanted to be. Yeah, full of energy and excitement and confidence, knowing that you can achieve every goal that you set out to achieve. That's the person that you've always wanted to be. Fear is a thing of the past. You go after everything that you want to go after because that person out there can have you or do anything that they want to do. They are confident they can achieve every goal they set out to achieve. There's people out there that you want to meet. There's no fear to go introduce yourself and meet them. That person's coming closer and closer and closer. You see that person has the exact hairstyle that you like. Dressed in the same type of clothes that you like to wear. That person's the exact weight that you want to weigh. Now that person's coming all the way up to you, all the way up to that window. Now you're looking into each other's eyes. Now that person is stepping through the window now and stepping into your body. That's who you are now. That's the person you've always wanted to be. That's who you are now. Feel that energy. Feel your body. That excitement, that confidence takes over your body. Because that's the person you've always wanted to be. That's the person that you are now. Full of energy and excitement, care and love. You can achieve every goal that you set out to achieve. You're not afraid to approach anyone and tell them about what you do. It could be a job interview. It could be offering your services or products because you know what you do creates value in people's lives and you want to share it with everybody. Making cold calls, that's a thing of the past. You're so excited to meet new people and call new people. You just automatically pick up the phone and call them because you want to share what you do with everybody. Because you can have or do anything that you want. You can make as much money as you want to make. That's a thing of the past. You can make as much money as you want to make. It's easy now. And if you have any bad habits, you know what those bad habits are. Release those bad habits now. They're a thing of the past. It's gone. All the bad habits are gone now. Maybe you ate too many greasy, fatty foods. That's gone. You only have cravings for fresh food. Food that's good for your body and your soul. Right? If you have a craving to drink sugary drinks like diet soda, regular soda, energy drinks, or those coffees in the morning, they're full of sugar. We know sugar's not good for us. It's not good for you. Release the craving for sugar. As a matter of fact, you even try to drink those sugary drinks now. They taste like gasoline. If you ever try to drink those sugary drinks from now on, they taste terrible. They taste like gasoline. Who would drink that? Drinking sugary drinks are a thing of the past. And if you're a smoker, you're now and forever smoke-free. You are now and forever smoke-free. You are now and forever smoke-free. You hate cigarettes. You don't like cigarettes. You don't like what they do. You know they're not your friend. Cigarettes only want to kill you, so you want to be done with cigarettes. You are now done with cigarettes. Smoke-free forever. It's as if you've never smoked in your life anyway. If you have any cigarettes on you, in a moment when you open your eyes, you're just going to come up and give me your cigarettes because you are done. You hate cigarettes. You don't want to have anything to do with them. So when you open your eyes, if you do have cigarettes on, you're just going to bring them right up to me. It's a thing of the past. You can have here do anything that you want. Anything that you want. Now, anytime I say the word successful, you're going to yell, I am great. Anytime you hear me say the word successful, you're going to yell, I am great, because you are great. And you feel it in your bones that you are great. Anytime I say the word successful, you're going to yell, I am great. Now, anytime you hear me or anybody else say Shawn Greeves, you're going to stand up and clap and yell and cheer because you know Shawn Greeves is changing your life. So anytime you hear anybody say Shawn Greeves, you're going to cheer and clap. Anytime you hear my name Shawn Greeves. Okay. What I always suggest is think deep into your subconscious mind, never to be replaced. Now in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and when I do, you're going to feel like you just had a 3-hour nap and a 2-hour massage, feeling wonderful in every way. That's right. 1, starting to come back to the room. 2, opening your eyes. 3, wide open, wide open, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. You guys feel good, don't you? Yeah, that was pretty successful. All right. Now, who saw the movie Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks?
Me.
Good movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, true story. Rocket went up into space. Side of the rocket blew off. It was leaking oxygen. Batteries were dying. The capsule where the astronauts were, the air scrubber stopped working. They were going to die from carbon dioxide poisoning just from breathing. They had to fix the air scrubber first so they could tweak the engines and the jets to get back to Earth. Now, all the smart guys on the ground at NASA, you know, Houston, we got a problem, guys? I'm like, yeah, these guys are goners. We're not going to get them back. Well, Gene Kranz was the flight director for NASA. And he said, failure is not an option. And I'm telling you, for you, failure is not an option for you in your life. You can have or do anything that you want to be. You can be successful at anything that you want. It's totally up to you. Winston Churchill said, never give up. Never give up.
Never.
All right, check this out. You can see it. What's really holding this horse down? Is it really the chair?
Nope.
No, it's what's in that horse's mind. What used to hold you back is gone. What used to hold you back is gone. You can have or do anything you want. You can be successful at anything that you want.
I am great.
That's right, you are great. All right, here's an hourglass. An hourglass represents what? Time. Top half represents the future. How much future do you have left in your life?
No one knows.
Do you know? You don't know. You could be gone tomorrow. Bottom half represents the past. It's time gone by. Here's the newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. We don't get time back. We're all on the big stage. We're not doing a dress rehearsal. There's no do-overs. So if you have no control over the past and no control over the future, you must have control over something. What do you have control over? The now. What are you doing now about your future? Because there's only one way it's not going to come. Now I'm going to talk about that. You can have or do anything that you want. And you can be successful. at anything you want. You are great. All right, now, what if there was a magic wand that you could wave to achieve all your dreams come true? What if? Well, guess what? I got these guided meditation recordings. Guided meditation recordings? Guess what you guys were just doing? Guided meditation. You're all professionals at it. Look at this. I got 16 of these. I got one on how to increase your confidence, how to improve your golf game. I could use that. How to improve your health, how to sleep better, how to improve your memory, how to release pain, how to stop procrastination. We'll go through that one. How to be a better public speaker, how to reduce anxiety. A lot of anxiety in our world. Sports enhancements. If you have kids in sports, let them listen to this. They'll get better at sports. How to stop smoking, stress reduction, better study and exam habits. Once again, for the kids, once your kids get better grades, have them listen to this, they'll get better grades. Success habits, wealth and prosperity, and weight loss. I got 16 of these.
Mine's great.
I got 16 of these. It says they're $60 a piece. Today I'm offering them for half price, $30 a piece. Or the whole package, that says $200, half price on that too. Great deal. Listen to one of these every day for the next 30 days and go to the next one. In 30 days' time, you're going to be a totally different person. What else we got here? There's my information.
Woo! Shawn Greeves!
All right. I teach people how to double their sales, double their income. We got a 3-pronged presentation. I teach the success formula for humans. I teach how the mind works. You now know how your mind works for success and failure. And then I do a breakout session. I do a breakout session like I did yesterday. I don't know if anybody was at the breakout session.
Yep, it's
Was that any good? Yeah. So I teach companies how to double their sales. Because everybody wants to make more money. There's my website, ShawnGreeves.com.
Yeah!
I forgot about that.
I did.
If you would like to send me a testimony at Shawn Greeves. I remember that. I appreciate testimony if you can send me a testimony. And if there's a group you'd like me to speak to, there's my phone number. It's also on my website. If I can help your group, give me a call. Okay? So,
And what's your website one more time?
did you go to Shawn Greeves?
Yeah!
You're funny. All right.
Might be a couple.
You can have me or do anything that you want. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's hard. Somebody said a lot of times if something's hard, it might not be worth it, but if it's worth it, it's going to be hard. Make it okay that it's hard. Is there resistance out there? Yes. Resistance is everywhere. You know, every time I get on a big airplane, I think, how do they get these big machines up into the air? They load them with food and fuel and water and people in suitcases that can't weigh over 50 pounds. Well, the engineers know about how heavy this plane's going to be, so they know they need to make the wings a certain size. So they back this thing out on a big long street called the runway, right? And then what do? They floor it. They got to get it going really fast. Now, have you ever stuck your hand out the window of your car on the highway with your resistance of the air, right? When that plane gets going fast enough, the resistance of the air hits the wings, forces the plane up into the air. It will stay in the air as long as there's resistance. Resistance can be our friend. Now, when they're backing this thing out on the runway, we got the flight attendant teaching us how to use a seatbelt. Like we really need to know how to use a seatbelt, right? But what they're really saying is, when you're ready to change levels, it's probably going to get bumpy. And I'm telling you now, it's going to be bumpy. It's going to be bumpy. You can have me or do anything that you want. You can be successful at anything that you want. You are great. So what do you want? What do you want? Time's moving on. Time's moving on. You can have me or do anything. You know what? Follow the rules. You can come get a copy of my book. I have a couple of copies of my book. I have those for sale also. You can have me or do anything you want. You can be successful at anything you want. It's totally up to you. All up to you. Time's moving on. You decide. You know what? I'm Shawn Greeves.
Yeah!